Hello, Kevin. And hi, Phil. Hope you enjoyed yourself at the festival, Phil. Hello, Paul. Okay, we can start now that there are people here and I know it is working. This is, I call this T-Bone Play a Cowboy song. If you've ever had the good fortune to play in Celtic Club, hi Rona, and hi Liz, and hello Carol, there is always someone shouts at you, play a cowboy song. In fact, I don't think it is one guy, I think there's a team. Hello Mr. Greg, I think there's a team of cowboy song guys, and you know, they go, can you make it next week? And I'll go, no, you'll have to do the cowboy song next week. I'm away to Saltcoats for a weekend, you know. But someone always shouts it anyway. So I've always had lots of songs that can loosely be described as cowboy songs. And that covers most of this evening. Some of it's very loose indeed. But there's lots of cowboy content. I didn't manage to do any of the quests. Raz's was an interesting one, Lonesome LA Cowboy. I remember it well. That'd be a good one to do. And Kevin, I've still got these words of that one, and I think that might be a winner actually. It might have commercial potential, so I'll revisit that. But I never had time when I got the requests. Good evening, Tom. Get on your horse and drink your milk. And hello, Tunes Guitars. Okay. And I'm not doing a Cliff song tonight, Mr. Greg, but I am doing the next best thing. There's a clue for you. You try and figure that one out. Okay, this is a cowboy song, and no mistake. It was written by a great country artist called Townes Van Zandt. And it's called Poncho and Lefty. And you can't get more cowboy than this. Living on the road, my friend, was gonna keep you free and clean. Now you wear your skin like iron, and your breath's as hard as kerosene. You weren't your mama's only boy, but her favorite one it seems. She began to cry when you said goodbye. Sink into your dreams. Poncho was a bandit, boys. His horse was fast as polished steel. He wore his gun outside his pants for all the honest world to feel. But Poncho met his match, you know, on a desert stand in Mexico, and nobody heard his dying words. Oh, but that's the way it goes. And all the federales say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Lefty, he can't sing the blues all night long like he used to. Dusted Poncho bit down south, ended up in Lefty's mouth. The day they laid poor Poncho low, Lefty split for Ohio, and where he got the bread to go, oh, there ain't nobody knows. And all the federales say they could have had him any day. They only let him slip away. Out of kindness, I suppose. Poets tell how Poncho fell and Lefty's living in a cheap hotel. The desert's quiet and Cleveland's cold, and so the story ends, I'm told. Poncho needs your prayers, it's true, could save a few for Lefty too. He just did what he had to do, and now he's growing old. A few gray federales say they could have had him any day. They only let him hang around. wrong. Out of kindness, I suppose. And that, I think you'll have to agree, is a very, very cowboy song indeed. And 9 Stone Cowboy, the anorexic cowboy. No, don't do that one. Hang on, let's have a look. I have done Rhinestone Cowboy, but I don't have to now, you know, which is great. Good evening, John. And good evening, Leslie and Jeff. Hey, Paul. Rhinestone Cowboy indeed. Hi, Gail. And Dave, Julia, and hello, Kathleen. I think that is everybody. And hi, Liz. I think I've said that already. And hello, Elizabeth. And hello, Alan O'Donnell. Long time no see, pal. Okay, this is about hobos. Hobos kind of came after cowboys. You had cowboys, and then as the 20th century got off to an early start and things started happening, and John Steinbeck and Woody Guthrie and all that, you had hobos instead of cowboys. But they were still drifters. Instead of having horses, they travelled around in boxcars. Which it doesn't mean ladders. It's I used to have one of them, and it was a bit boxy. No, it's boxcars, train thingies. You can do things like carriages, but no. Anyway, this is Hobo's Lullaby by Woody Guthrie. Go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Can't you hear them steel rails humming? That's a hobo's lullaby. Do not think about tomorrow. Let tomorrow come and go. Tonight you're in a nice warm boxcar, safe from all the wind and snow. So go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Can't you hear those steel rails humming? That's a hobo's lullaby. I know the police cause you trouble. They cause trouble everywhere. But when you die and go to heaven, you won't find no policeman there. So go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Can't you hear them steel rails humming? That's a hobo's lullaby. Though your clothes are torn and tattered, and your hair is all turned gray, lift your head and smile at sorrow. You'll find peace and rest someday. So go to sleep, you weary hobo. Let the towns drift slowly by. Can't you hear them steel rails humming? That's a hobo's lullaby. Can't you hear those steel rails humming? That's a hobo's lullaby. Hobo's Lullaby. I've always loved that song. Okay, you'll have to excuse the fact that you're having to put up with the glare tonight, because I'm I'm not wearing a hat because it's just too hot. It's been a lovely summer's day here. I haven't even got my stage lights on or anything. And I'm wearing shorts. I resemble Julian from the Famous Five. You'll probably see them when I have to get up and change guitars. So please do not laugh too loud. Okay, this hi Raz, and hello Frankie. This is it's harder to connect to cowboys. It's by some latter-day drug-addled cowboys called Alabama 3. It's called Peace in the Valley, and it's well, it's kind of cowboy related, shall we say. This is one of those tenuous ones I was talking about. She spends too much time with herself every night, fooling around with her fears. In the morning she mourns the decline of her mind, drowning in a bottle of beer. It's too dangerous to think about what she might have been if she'd sung for salvation, if she'd danced on her dreams, danced on her dreams. And he don't know if he's a communist, a hedonist or a whore. Spend too much time riding on a white line to find the door. And if he did and he opened it, he'd find those letters in her hall. But he's too blind to read between the lines, 'cause the writing's on the wall. But there's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow, 'cause tonight he's gonna blow it all away. It feels so twisted, ain't never gonna fix it. He's waiting for the light to shine on a brand new day. Oh, I got ecstasy, but I need some company. You got that mystery, I need a plan. All I got is a compromise and a bag full of alibis, as empty as a bottle of whiskey in my shaking hands. But there's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow, 'cause tonight we gonna blow it all away. We feel so twisted, ain't never gonna fix it. We're just waiting for the light to shine on a brand new day. There's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. Gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. Gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. We're gonna peace in the valley, peace in the valley. There's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. There's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow. There's gonna be peace in the valley tomorrow, 'cause tonight we're gonna blow it all away. Hey, and hello, Jock. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys, Alan. I actually sometimes do that one, but not tonight, baby. But I know it's not a request. I will do it in the future, though. I completely forgot about that. I would have done it if I'd thought of it. Yep, has anyone seen JC? And here he is. Okay, this next one is kind of like a song that I do because I like it, but I also do it because I know that Frank really likes it. It's a Commander Cody song called Seeds and Stems, and it's about a cowboy who's lonely and everything's gone wrong for him. His dog's died, and he's run out of blow, so everything's pretty much buggered, you know. That's how a Cowdenbeath cowboy would put it. Anyway, this is called Down to Seeds and Stems Again, Blues. I'm sitting alone Saturday night watching the Late Late Show. Bottle of wine, some cigarettes, I got no place to go. Well, I saw your other man today, he was wearing my brand new shoes. And I'm down to seeds and stems again too. I saw my old friend Bob today from up in Bowling Green. He had the prettiest little girl that I'd ever seen, but I could not hide my tears at all, 'cause he looked just like you. And I'm down to seeds and stems again too. Everybody tells me there's other ways to get high. They don't seem to understand I'm too far gone to try. Now these lonely memories, they're all I can use. And I'm down to seeds and stems again too. Well, my dog died yesterday, left me all alone. The finance company dropped by today and repossessed his bone. But that's just a drop in the bucket, yes, compared with losing you. And I'm down to seeds and stems again too. Everybody tells me there's other ways to get high. They don't seem to understand I'm too far gone to try. Now these lonely memories, they're all I can use. And I'm down to seeds and stems again. Got the down to seeds and stems again blues. Hello, Marion. Enjoy the gig? Yes, thank you, Mr. Greg. Some great ideas. I can't remember what's next, so I'll need to look. Okay. This is very definitely a cowboy song. The fifth word in it is cowboy. And you all know it. There is a young cowboy who lives on the range. His horse and his cattle are his only companions. He works in the saddle and he sleeps in the canyons, waiting for summer, his pastures to change. And as the moon rises, he sits by his fire, thinking about women and glasses of beer, and closing his eyes as the dogies retire, he sings out a song which is soft but it's clear, as if maybe someone could hear. Good night, you moonlight ladies, rock-a-bye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rock-a-bye, sweet baby James? Oh, the 1st of December was covered in snow. So was the turnpike from Stockbridge to Boston. But Berkshire seemed dreamlike on account of that frosting. With 10 miles behind me and 10,000 more to go. There's a song that they sing as they take to the highway, a song that they sing as they take to the sea, a song that they sing of their home in the sky. Maybe you can believe it if it helps you to sleep, but singing works just fine for me. Good night, you moonlight ladies, rock-a-bye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rock-a-bye, sweet baby James? There's a song that they sing as they take to the highway, a song that they sing as they take to the sea, a song that they sing of their home in the sky. Maybe you can believe it if it helps you to sleep, but singing works just fine for me. Good night, you moonlight ladies, rock-a-bye, sweet baby James. Deep greens and blues are the colors I choose. Won't you let me go down in my dreams and rock-a-bye, sweet baby James? Hi, Gil. Indeed it is a work event. As you can see, I'm taking it very seriously as such. And I can't remember what the next one is. All right, okay. This is the most tenuous one of all. It's actually a political song. And it's inspired by a political cowboy whose name is Alex Cole Hamilton. And I say cowboy not in any good sense. He's a political cowboy in the same sense as the guy who installed my mum and dad's shower in Pitcorthy was a cowboy. Aye, a total geyser. Anyway, I've had lots of conversations about the constitutional issue, and everybody listening knows where I stand on it, but I have much more sensible conversations in general with people south of the border than anyone north of the border who is trying to sort of argue a unionist case. I'm not quite sure why that is. How I find it up here is that if I'm talking to someone about it and their point of view is different from mine, they're a unionist, and they think I'm a nationalist. I don't think of myself that way, but let's call it that. Don't care. They don't actually engage in any argument. They just start sneering and insulting and making faces right away. And while you're talking, they're not actually listening to you. They're just waiting for you to stop so they can start. And that's not discussion. I haven't found the same with, my friends down south at all. And there's a great poem by Willie Herschel, I forget what it's called, all about that, how our problem in Scotland has always been the parcel of rogues in a nation. Alex Cole Hamilton fits that bill exactly. So apologies to cowboys, because he's not as good as a cowboy. Not even the one that put my dad's shower in. This is called Somewhere Else. Sorry for the big rant. Where I live there's beauty, there's sunshine and there's rain. There's love and there is kindness, there's cruelty and there's pain. There's trees that reach for heaven and rivers to the sea. There's rich and there's poor, but nowhere else I'd rather be. There are those who are ashamed of the land where they were born. They say that we're not good enough to make decisions of our own. And they tell me to be silent, tell me I should bend the knee. Maybe there is somewhere else that they would rather be. Flowers bloom and birds fly high, the buzzard and the dove. Old men dig their gardens and young men look for love. Some say that we're too feckless, too foolish to be free. Maybe there is somewhere else that they would rather be. The wind blows hard, the seas run high, we have more than we need. Children learn, professors teach in universities, but you say that we're too poor, too stupid and too weak. Maybe there is somewhere else that you would rather be. Maybe there is somewhere else that you would rather be. As I say, a very tenuous connection to cowboys, but I just felt like singing it. Especially just now when politics is kind of in your face all the time, you know. Okay, this is a much more obvious cowboy song. It was originally written by blues and folk singer Leadbelly. His version of it is kind of like is Rory Gallagher's version of it, and it's out on the Western Plain, and it's cowboy as they come. Hello, Teresa. How are you doing? when I was a cowboy out on the western plain. When I was a cowboy out on the western plain. Well, I made $500,000 working hard on the bridle reins. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. What was the greatest battle ever on the western plain? What was the greatest battle ever on the western plain? When me and a bunch of cowboys rode into Jesse James. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. Now me and a bunch of cowboys rode into Jesse James. Now me and a bunch of cowboys rode into Jesse James. Well, those bullets were flying just like a shower of rain. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. What was the greatest battle ever on the Bunker Hill? What was the greatest battle ever on the Bunker Hill? Well, me and a bunch of cowboys rode into Buffalo Bill. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. Now when I was a cowboy out on the western plain, when I was a cowboy out on the western plain, well, I made $500,000 working hard on the bridle reins. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. Come a cow, cow, yippee, come a cow, cow, yippee, yay. Okay, this is my last acoustic one, and I'm pushing it a bit, yeah. It's about, well, one of the things in the song is an armed robbery with a shotgun, which cowboys would cry, a hold up. But it happens sort of near Box Hill in England, so it's like not really a cowboy. But, you know, some people say that bikers are kind of like latter-day cowboys. I should really stop digging. I'm standing in this hole, it's getting deeper and deeper. I just wanted to do it, so I've made it an honorary cowboy song. It's called Vincent Black Lightning. Said Red Molly to James, that's a fine motorbike. Old girl could feel special on any such like. Said James to Red Molly, that's up to you. It's a Vincent Black Lightning 1952. And I've seen you on the corners and cafes, it seems. Red hair and black leather, my favorite colors too. And he pulled around behind. Sir Red Molly, here's a ring for your right hand. But I'll tell you in earnest, I'm a dangerous man. For I fought with the law since I was 17, and I robbed many a man to get my Vincent machine. I'm 21 now, I might make 22, and I don't mind dying, but for the love of you. And if fate should break my stride, I'd give you my Vincent to ride. Oh, come down, Red Molly, cried Sergeant McRae, for they've taken James 80 for armed robbery. Shotgun blast in his chest, left nothing inside. Oh, come down, Red Molly, to his dying bedside. When they came to the hospital, there wasn't much left. He was running out of road, he was running out of breath, but he smiled to see her cry. Said I'd give you my Vincent to ride. Said James, in my opinion, there's nothing in this world beats a 52 Vincent and a red-headed girl. Now Nortons and engines and Greaves won't do. Oh, they don't have a soul like a Vincent 52. And he reached for her hand and he slipped her the keys. Said, I've got no further use for these. I see angels and aerials and leather and chrome swooping down from heaven to carry me home. And he gave her one last kiss and died. And he gave her his Vincent to ride. Vincent Black Lightning. Oh. And you would get a glimpse of the famous 5 look that I'm sporting. I don't know, some people can carry off shorts. I don't think I can really, but I'm just too blooming hot. I couldn't be bothered putting anything warmer on. Anyway, 2 songs to go. This one is very much a cowboy song. It featured in the film Pat Garrett and Billy the Kid, Bob Dylan song. And it's called Knocking on Heaven's Door. And all I got to do is find it. Here we go. Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. Getting dark, too dark to see. Feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Mama put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. That long black cloud, it's coming down. Feel I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, 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 knocking on heaven's door. Yeah, I remember going to see that film in the 70s, I think, 74. 73, 74, not sure. Anyway, this is my last one. And, well, it's not exactly a cowboy song. It's very relevant. And it's also kind of relevant to Mr. Greg. As regular listeners will know, Mr. Greg's always asking me to do something by Cliff, and I have steadfastly resisted his blandishments. However, this is it's not about cowboys, but you can't have cowboys without mentioning Indians. And it was actually played by the band that became Cliff's backing band. It's very, very old. I was at primary school when this was a hit for the first time. And it was probably the first thing I learned on the guitar. I didn't learn it all the way through. My big brother was learning it on the guitar. He went to lessons to a guy called Johnny Graham in Cowdenbeath. And the Shadows was the big thing then. So John learned Apache, I think. And I listened to him and learned wee bits of it. So, oh dear, Mr. Greg's having conniptions. Oh, sorry, Greg. So this is called Apache. It's very old, but it's actually wonderful. I think there's a really underrated guitar player, Hank Marvin. And like I say, you can't have cowboys without Indians. Again, all I need to do is find the blooming thing. Oh, there it is. Here we go. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. Yeah, Mr. Greg, the day I met Marie, yeah. That could be the one, eh? The day I met Marie with the laughing eyes. Okay, folks, thank you very much for listening again. And thank you, Mr. Greg, for your patience and good humour. If I forgot to mention anyone's name, sorry about that. But I've enjoyed myself as always. And I'll keep you posted about next week and the week after that and all that. Okay, so thanks again. Julia, Kathleen, thank you very much for your kind words. And yeah, Kathleen, I know the shorts, the baffy, it's not exactly rock and roll, but I'd rather not be uncomfortable, to be quite honest. Okay, folks, thanks again. See you soon.